So we're renting this house, and I obviously don't want to put any holes in the walls, but I really miss my gallery wall. And so I bought some command hooks, and I'm just gonna put a small gallery right here. I'm going through all my art. I haven't seen a lot of these since we moved like 2 years ago. My grandma did this one. She used to press flowers from her garden all the time. So this one's just kind of very sentimental. This is Samuel G. Eaton. He was 17 when this picture was taken. I think maybe because of just like the information on the back, I was able to figure out who he was and where his family lived. And I thrifted this in Van Nuys, but I think his family lived in Pasadena. He came out from Indiana. I don't know. I love him so much, and I learned so much about him that I just feel like he's kind of family now. And I keep him on my gallery wall. I love this. I don't remember where I thrifted this from. Usually I'll find the picture and the frame separate and then like combine them. So I have a tutorial here on YouTube where I cut up a textbook that I thrifted. People freaked out, but I mean, it's a college textbook. What are the odds that the student taking that class is going to like find that textbook in that thrift store and be able to use it? It's like somebody's gonna buy it, and I did, and I wanted to cut it up and put it on my wall. And I don't think that anybody's gonna die over that. The other option is to like have art printed, but that's not very eco-friendly. So, I mean, people will get mad at you, whatever you do, but this is what I did, and I don't regret it. I still have that big college textbook with all of this art. So if I ever want to make more pieces, I can. From one book. I think it's a good thing to do. See, look how pretty these are. And then I took a little bit of Mod Podge and just kind of emulated the brush strokes, and it looks like an oil painting. If you get up and it catches the light, it's textured and it's really pretty. This one reminds me of Christine McConnell. She's just so glamorous and elegant. I thrifted this at the flea market, at the Pasadena Rose Bowl flea market, and then I had this for years, and I just realized that this fits perfectly inside. And then Chase found this little girl outside of the thrift store next to the bakery, just like kind of dumped in the back. And I love her so much. I love this picture. Look at that sweet little dog. And it almost perfectly fits in here. So I'm just gonna kind of make it work. And then I'll probably eventually have to go in and kind of repair the painting because it's pretty damaged, but I can just put a little acrylic on it and fix it. And I've realized I have this like child theme now. I don't know how I collected so many children over the years, but we're trying to conceive now. So maybe this will be like a little good energy to put up on the wall. This will be my little creepy child wall.
When I'm working on a gallery wall, I just like to lay everything out on the floor and just kind of like fuss around for however long it takes until I get to a place where I feel like everything looks cohesive and balanced. There are a bunch of rules for gallery walls and a bunch of different styles that you can follow closely. I really like to do this kind of like eclectic look where nothing lines up with each other. Everything is kind of mismatched, and that just allows me to add to the gallery wall if I ever want to bring in new pieces or make small adjustments without disturbing the whole thing. So I've kind of made a little bit of a mistake here, and it will get corrected toward the end of the video. But what I'm doing right now is lining up all of these paintings on the bottom, which you totally can do. But for the design that I'm going for, I don't want any of the lines to be even with each other. I kind of want edges to run into each other and interrupt space so that anything can go anywhere and there's no like clear line. Does that make sense? So these guys are going on the wall in a straight line, and the little boy with the hat is going to fall toward the end. And that's okay because he was a little bit of a problem right there. You can see how the little girl with the dog and the boy with the hat, they line up evenly. But what I'm going to do with the photo on the left is raise it a little bit above. So I don't know, for me, it looks kind of strange when two photos are in line, but then nothing else is. I also really try to mix up the colors and sizes and shapes of the frames. So I don't really want to have two gold frames next to each other. I don't want too many circles or ovals or rectangles. Of course, it's going to happen sometimes. There are only so many shapes that frames come in, but I'm just trying to be mindful as I'm placing things so that I don't have two items that are too matchy-matchy next to each other. Now, I actually think that if I put all three of the larger paintings in the same line, it would look pretty nice. But I'm realizing that I want to put a lamp on the left side of this dresser. So in order not to block it too much, I'm going to raise the height of the floral painting on the left. So I'm using the lamp as a guide to make sure that I get the height correct. And I made another little mistake. I placed it a little bit too far from the wall so that this really small painting is kind of cramped. So I'm going to pull it down and just move it over to the left slightly so that everything is kind of balanced. That's one of the biggest rules that I have for this eclectic gallery wall. You don't want things too far apart, but you also don't want them crammed together. Here's where we lost the boy, but it's okay. I put him back together and it gave me the opportunity to lower him a little bit. So everything kind of goes in this stair-stepping pattern and everything is a little uneven. Honestly, I was not having a good time decorating this dresser top. So I looked at credenzas and buffets online, just like product photos, and looked at how they were styled. If I ever get stumped, I just have to see a couple examples and then I know, oh, I need something of this height, something of this texture, something here in the middle. This makes me so happy. Every time I walk into this room, it's just made a difference in the entire room. So I hope that this was helpful. And just like me looking at product photos, I hope you can watch this and take some of the elements in my design and then translate it to some of the items that you have. Happy styling, happy thrifting, and I'll see you in the next one.